My goodness. So back live. I'm obviously on my different laptop right now and figure some things out. Uh yeah, I'm about to do some things like this again too. It'll only be simpler for me. Um because I want to be able to actually do my reviews live like I intended in the first place, you know. So when I read the scripture to people, they can ask questions right then and there. And I want the questions to be asked so that way, whatever confusion or mishaps there are, we can go all about that. But I'm about to be doing my thing, not afraid either, because as we've watched the landscape change over like the last 5 months, 4 months if you want to really be technical, but we'll say five, right? Start of this year. Uh, some things that I have obviously brought to the forefront have been trampled over in a sense. You know, today they told the world that we're officially in a recession. But I was pretty sure that the whole point of whatever was going to go on was to say that we went into a recession, like so they could blame that and not blame poor business dealings. You know, I could mash in corporate greed, but there's no need to do that right this moment. I just wanted to just really make sure that my laptop was going to let me go live. Now that I know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna really get it in. It's been probably since earlier this year or late last year, I've been able to drop a live one, and people don't understand. You know, for me, that's when you actually get to see who people are. You know, unless there's some kind of actor who has like a scripted theme or whatever. You know, for the most part, whatever they say is actually what they feel and mean. You know, so let's just talk about a few things since I'm live. Let's talk about these protests. I'm gonna go in. I told you I'm not holding back. Can't wait till they see it. Do you know why I totally disapprove of 99% of what's happened? It's because the people involved. I want check this out. This is a crucial thought to have. The people who recorded on their phones and watched this man be murdered went out and looted and robbed and did not peacefully protest for change, whatever that is. I don't believe in protesting, so I wouldn't be out there anyway. Having said that, for the people who do believe in that, they totally sullied the man's name and whatever he stood for in righteousness. If he stood for anything righteous, they took that from him, and they don't even realize that. See, it takes a non-coward to do something brave. That's the bottom line. I find it funny that I have I have an extreme risk protection order. But how many people do you think got one of those? Remember, last year mental health was the thing. See, I don't want to slow clap just yet, but I'm about to get there. Don't worry, it's coming for them, and I'm gonna dust their asses off. See, you got all these young people out here running around who ain't never did nothing for nobody in their life, talking about they feel oppressed while they have a iPhone 11 or whatever that they have access to. That's how oppressed they are. Right. See, my level of honesty with myself is that you can't have it both ways. You can't sell crack cocaine and then be like the white man flew it in, because you don't have to sell crack cocaine. I told some people the other day, mixed company, because I wasn't with anybody else black, but this is how I truly feel in my heart and soul. A person that sells drugs to black people, that is any kind of black, hates black people more than any white person or anyone else on the whole fucking planet ever will. Period. You excuse yourself from righteous responsibility because no, they don't want to sweat. They don't want to work hard. And they don't want to work for a little bit for what they know they should get more for, because they're cowards and they're lesser than. It takes a person who was lesser than a brave person to watch a man get murdered in front of the whole fucking world and do nothing. Demetrius Antoine Jones has an ERPO. I can't even leave my state. There's a reason why. Obviously, I'm not going to go protest anywhere. And they're like, why didn't you go to Seattle? I have cases in Seattle. Why wouldn't you be in Tacoma? They were protesting literally right across from where I live. Thousands of people some days, hundreds of people most days. Cowards. The kind of people who would watch you before this shit happened, get your whole head ripped off by police and be like, oh, he must have done something to deserve that. Now, because this man, like I said before, the most altruistic thing he could have done was not resist. So no one can say anything else. I disregard the entire trying to assassinate the man's character through how he made his money. I don't dismiss wickedness, but I dismiss that because if that's the case, once again, what I said is going to reign true. Something personal took place. Guarantee that. This dude's going down forever. And the way that I said it could happen is how they up the charges. Because I understand how legality works. I'm not just some dude talking out the side of my neck. I know how it works. I've been through it. I'm going through it. I have a lawyer who confers with me as if we're both partners. Can you dig that? That's real life. Because she believes, number one, that I'm competent. Number two, that it's easy to actually deal with me because I have wonderful ideas that help with the case. Wow. But the other lawyers before her didn't feel that way. So this is just the type of thing that you just have to go through. These people are just talking out the side of their necks. I'm telling you. The reason why they upped those charges to second degree, number one, is because they didn't. Nobody, if they're talking about what's in his bloodstream, did y'all see the video? Did you see how close that man was to those exhaust fumes? Even if he could breathe, he's breathing in toxic poison each breath. That's the type of thing that it's like nobody seems to care about. And then you got all these talkavists out there, and I'll slap any one of them in the face. You name them, and I'll slap their ass in the face. And they know it for a fucking fact. Ain't nobody, there's not one person out here in the YouTube game I wouldn't all across their face. Can you dig that? Especially a black person talking wickedness about black people. Can't stand these chumps. 99% of them I cannot stand. And I go around them to let them see that I'm around. There's only a few of them who I really am talking about, like, even though some of the things that they do I don't agree with, I'm still to the hilt for them. One of them for sure knows who he is, but I'll mention him as my man Cerulean, because whatever not understanding we didn't have, we without even having to speak most times about nothing, we don't even talk. We just understand each other. And this is a fact. I don't even deal with these guys because they don't understand anything. It makes me sad to hear people try to come up off the death of another person. That's why I don't talk about those things. And that's why I do my best to not put people's names in titles. Right on? Whenever I do, it's because I obviously feel compelled to say something. George Floyd deserved what he deserved, he didn't even get. He deserved 7 days of mourning. Proper mourning for his family. His family didn't even get that. And these dirty dogs got the, man, please. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. And for all these people out here running their mouths, acting as if they're going to do something, straight talking out the side of their neck, I know for a fact what's going to happen to them come that day. While they sit here and pump young black people's heads up with this nonsense about what is so-called this and so-called that. Let me ask y'all a question. If the same group of people you're calling supremacists tell you through their science that they're genetically inferior to you and admit it openly, how do you say that they're superior and live in that? That's number one. And then number two, right? For all these people who claim to believe in something, let me ask you this right here. Because I actually do believe in the Most High God, and I do believe that his people are cursed to be with the worst of the heathen in the land for punishment, not for their goodness. So nothing's supposed to be good about this. That's the whole part about it that I don't seem to understand. That they say that the white man stole the Bible, but that part of the Bible where they seem to, let me just keep it in righteous language. They seem to have taken the Most High's love, righteous love, proper love, merciful love, and spit it in his face. And if that's the book that the white man stole from the so-called Africans, those Africans owe the Most High God a serious apology, the way that he's asking for it. But for some odd reason, I got it confused. That's the problem I have. You got jokers out here with hundreds of thousands of viewers who people listen to every day. And they pump their head full of, I'm talking about with things that it's not even real, not even tangible. You know what's tangible? Somebody punching that little Asian cop, somebody grabbing Derek Chauvin. I'm talking about kneeing that dude under his chin so hard that if his tongue was anywhere close to it, he's biting that part off for sure. Crushing him. This whole thing doesn't even become that. I'm dead, if nothing else. Believe that. But I'm knocking out 2 cops before I take any kind of hot one. But if I'm lucky, if I'm blessed, if this is righteous, the Most High God is going to let me get all 4 of them. Because what they're doing is wrong. There's no way. There's no way. Do y'all understand? I had police officers put a protection order against me. Did nobody ride for me? Nigga, I've had cops try to kill me, try to break my fucking neck and tell me to go to sleep, bitch, while they're doing it. Right. All these cats that you've never seen, and the ones that you have, they couldn't tell you nothing like that because they ain't never been out there like that. Those niggas is not really gritty like that, and I can't stand them. That's why I show my face, because I want them to see me. I don't trust people anyway, so you walk up on me, you're liable to really get your whole head took off. That's a fact. As cool as I am, as much as I smile and talk peaceable to people, I'll be ready to floor them. They don't even know. So you're send somebody. That's the kind of thing I be on. Send them so they can get hurt, so you can learn what it's really like to get hurt. Because they don't understand it. They think they do. Like I told my lawyer, this is a fact, and you can ask that woman. I said I would dare the police to run up in here now with the warrant, with the sharp-ass swords I got now. I'm cutting something clean off. I'm dismembering somebody. Facts. I'm still free right now. So guess what? Even if she cared to say something, there's nothing they can do about it because that's just me speaking what I know to be a truth. Right. Motherfucker run up in here, I'm going to do their ass up. That quick. And I don't even care. And they made it like that. See, when I had a pistol, when I had a wand, when I had the destruction wand, when I had the evil witchcraft that it is, I knew that by using it, I could totally quell people just by pulling out the destruction wand. I could quell them. But because I don't have it, right? I have to go to extreme measures to make sure that I keep myself alive. How does that work? But you got people out here running around, looting, rioting. Where are their ERPOs at? Huh? Where is the nigga, you will never own a pistol? Right. That's the crazy shit I'm talking about. But I'm going through it and they expect me to just hold what they think is an L all by my lonely. And I'm like, yo, hold up. Demetrius Antoine Jones got an extreme risk protection order looking out for a black man. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? I'm excellent. I hope you're doing excellent. I'm doing as good as a person can be in the land that they're not supposed to be in if the people did the right thing. How about that? No matter how bad or how good it could be, I'm only doing that good because at the end of the day, I'm still not able to do what I want to do. Just like you're not able to really do what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? But I'm doing excellent. And if you ever want to hear something about the Most High, you ask me a question. If I have a feasible answer as to how to guide you there, we'll just guide you there because I might not know a thing about it. That's how I get down. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and tell you at the side of my neck I'm a prophet. I'm not going to sit here and tell you at the side of my neck that, oh, the Most High God speaks to me. I'll just tell you what I read in the scripture, how I perceived it, and how I put it with regular everyday life, what I call humanizing the scripture. Because there's been there's serious miscommunication between how people read the Bible and then how it's supposed to be read and then how it's interpreted and then how I know we're supposed to actually understand it. This is a fact. Having said that, I was just speaking to the matter that all these people who claim to be voices or whatever for the people, I claim to be nothing other than a brother who cares so much that I'll pull it. I promise you right now, I don't even know you, and this is Most High God strike me down. I would never let what happened to George Floyd happen to you. The Most High God knows it. They took guns from me. These fools ran up in my house with the warrant, arrested me while I was at work in the middle of selling a hot dog, literally grabbed my arm, and I could feel the tension of them wanting me to try to sell the hot dog so they could snatch me up and try to do me wrong. So I just let it be. You see what I'm saying? That's the last time I ever sold a hot dog in Pioneer Square. Can you dig that? A police officer grabbed me up from behind and placed cuffs on me and didn't even allow me the righteous honor of selling my last hot dog. Come on. Did that to totally embarrass me. But it's okay. See, that's the type of thing that I live with. And I think it's funny because they ride for these niggas when they die. I'm still here. I'm still here, breathing in the flesh. And ain't got one scintilla of the kind of support that these fools being the key word. And if I'm in danger of hell's fire, so be it. Because they're fools to me. They are the type of people to believe that there is no God. That is a true fool. I'm not here living my best life. I'm here living, trying to survive long enough to see if the Most High God is going to come back in my life. Because I believe like that. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of faith you have to have. And hope you better possess all on your own. Because they can't give that to you. And they can't take it away either. That's the beauty of that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody told Demetrius Antoine Jones, hey, you better check on that black guy over there with his hair braided. Because the situation don't look right. He could have ended up like George Floyd. But do I get the credit of saving the dude? No, nothing. No thing. Not a scintilla. I heard a fool one time say, when I first caught my situation, that because the white people got their foot up my rear end so far, now somebody's begging for help. And I just think it's so funny that this man would let another man die. And then, but how can you help a dead man? And nobody understands the wickedness in that. Only me. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you couldn't get that, but if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know that. You see what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't know that the man was talking about me if he said those words and you had possibly heard those words. And I won't even put the individual on blast. They called me a sucker because they said I name dropped them. But after that video, that's all they've been doing is name dropping cats. Now, ironically, most of them happen to be sucker butts and chumps, but it's just funny that I spoke on the person one time and they got upset. Totally upset. Thinking that I'm trying to come up off of them. It's like, I don't need you. I don't need anything you got to say. Check this right here out. Since you're here, hungry for y'all's wisdom, you get something so special. I would have never even done this. Right on. I'm going to go. I'm in the book of Judges right now, right? I'm going to go to the latter part of Joshua. Okay. And we're in Joshua chapter 24. Check this out. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shiloh and convoked their elders and their officers and their judges and set them before God. And Joshua said to all the people, listen to what I'm about to get at, and I'm going to break something down to you. Thus says the Lord God of Israel, your fathers at first sojourned beyond the river. So you know what that means right there? That the land that the Israelites were in, right, was not their homeland, was not the land in which their people came from. Come on, this is a basic breakdown, but I'm going to give it to you the way that I would do it any other time. Here we go. Here we are in the middle of verse 2. Even Terah, the father of Abraham and the father of Nachor, and they served other gods. Now, you know why that part right there is the most important part? I will continue to read, but I'm going to stop at a certain point. But that is the most important part. See, how funny is it that Abraham is a righteous man who used to serve other gods? How funny is it that Abraham is the first man that you ever know of to be circumcised? So, having said that, right, the way that the Most High God made his covenant literally with Abraham was like, I'm going to make him what you would call mutilation. They call it a surgery now. But why would you change the way that you were born? Now, I could speak to hygienic, this, that, and the other, right? And the relative ease of reproduction, of circumcision versus non-circumcision. There's no need to really get carried away with it. The point is this, is that you get to hear out of a man's mouth who was next to Moses, okay? Understand that Moses is the strongest, he is the most powerful prophet to have ever existed in all of Israel. Do you dig that? And just so that way, don't nobody think I'm trying to make nothing up on the fly. I know you don't think I'm trying to make nothing up. So let me just drop this on you real quick so that way you can understand it. Verse 10 of Deuteronomy 34. And there rose up no more a prophet in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. So nobody else ever knew the Lord face to face. Let's go ahead and get that established. And all the signs and wonder which the Lord sent him to work in Egypt on Pharaoh and his servants and all his land, the great wonders and the mighty hand which Moses displayed before all Israel. How's that go? You see what I'm saying? Moses is the strongest prophet ever. This is why it's important for you to understand who the Lord is. I contend that the Lord is the Messiah. Well, in part, there's times where they're actually speaking on the Most High, but the one that has his name on him is the Messiah. You understand? And Messiah was considered Abraham's God, Isaac's God, and Jacob's God. Word. And the Most High actually didn't make himself known until Moses. But hold on, we're going to keep reading. Back to Joshua. Verse 3, and I took your father Abraham from the other side of the river and guided him through all the land. and I multiplied his seed. And I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac, Jacob and Esau. And I gave to Esau Mount Seir for him to inherit. And Jacob and his sons went down to Egypt and became there a great populous and mighty nation. And the Egyptians afflicted them. And I smote the Egyptians with the wonders that I wrought among them. Afterwards, God brought out our fathers from Egypt, and ye entered into the Red Sea. And the Egyptians pursued after our fathers with chariots and horses into the Red Sea. And we cried aloud to the Lord, and he put a cloud and a darkness between us and the Egyptians. And he brought the sea upon them and covered them. And your eyes have seen all that the Lord did in the land of Egypt. Stop right there. I need y'all to understand, Egypt was the strongest nation at the time. And it's not like they were like, oh, like they could just crush any and everybody. It's just that it was like an impregnable country. Like you couldn't go there and just take it over. That's why when the Egyptian Empire actually fell, it was a major thing. You know, it was like way bigger than America. It was like America falling times 10. Truly. That's something to think about. Egypt was that big. And this is the youngest of the triplets of Noah. I don't want to get too carried away in the scripture. Just wanted to let you know that, like, I do read the Bible to people. I do break it down. I do try to humanize it. Like I said, I'm going to put that back away. And I'm going to get back on my soapbox about other things. You see what I'm saying? Because you have people here who say that that's the white. Look, this is crazy. You have people who contend two things. They either try to say that it's the white man's book, or they contend that the white man stole it. And I'm like, which is it? Because I don't even really read the New Testimony outside from when I actually read a King James Version Bible. That's the Septuagint. And then the Septuagint I have is only the Old Testament, and then it's the Apocrypha. And if you read the Apocrypha and understand history, the Apocrypha gives understanding to things within the scripture, like finer details to moments, right? Like maybe this is another scribe's account of the same situation. You see what I'm saying? And these are things that you just have to be willing to just, like, for example, real quick, I don't want to get carried away. The book of the Maccabees exposes that the people who call themselves Jewish today are actually people who were considered Hasidians or Usidians, and they joined themselves, okay, to the people of the Maccabees, all right, because they were revolting, okay. They joined themselves. They brought themselves down and joined themselves to the people. Now, why these Afro-Negs would actually take in these straight hair, funny-eyed, just funny skin, just funny-looking dudes, and a couple of them might actually be able to claim that they have a grandfather or a grandmother from the tribe. But still, man, you ain't the people, bro. Like that, like you watered down all the way. However, they admit who they are in the book of the Maccabees and tell the whole world. And if people would actually read the book of the Maccabees and understand it, they would know that even if you don't take a Wikipedia point of view and you go to other major websites, they all tell you the same thing. The book of the Maccabees is to be considered historical context, not like actual true bona fide holy scripture. So it's religious if you want it to be, perception wise, but really it's a historical account. That's how cold it is. And it starts off talking about Alexander the Great. They don't call him the Great. They just call him Alexander, I'm pretty sure. See what I'm saying? And that's one of the craziest things where they break it down, but you understand that they're like, well, if he was really from this land, he was actually black. He was from a certain place. I just can't. Oh, my goodness. I can't think of the name right now. But he's from another, I want to say Kittim. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was from Kittim. Right on. Don't quote me. But he was the first dude. He was like the first pretty much like non-Greek. He was like Persian or something like that, but he wasn't Greek, and he was the first dude like that to take the throne. You know, now there's people who contend that Alexander conjured evil spirits and this, that, and the other. I don't really care about none of that because that has nothing to do with me. I tell you what I overstand about it. If you read the scripture very closely, there were certain people from the Grecian Empire who did righteous by the Israelites, and then there was a lot of them who just didn't, you know. And this is where the real King Demetrius has come from, right? The Hellenistic Empire Demetrius, those guys, right? They were kings back in these days, and there's several of them. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you have to keep track of which one they're talking about, and why this is so important is because each one of those King Demetriuses, if you read it, all those dudes are evil. Every one of them are wicked. That's why I can't stand my name. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna go change it. I'm just gonna live with it. It's life. They gave me the name of a heathen who I could contend used to torture our people. Wow, how ironic that I would be named that, huh? You see how that works? So if you're not honest with yourself, you'll never actually really get there. And there's nothing to appreciate if you're not telling yourself the truth. And that's why I come at these cowards next the way that I do, because I know that they're cowards. I know it. There's no confusion in my mind. I know that they're afraid. You know what I mean? Any person who won't show you their face and comes up with 101 excuses as to why they don't show their face regularly is a coward. This doesn't matter what they say. What do you protect? Look, let me break something down to you. I have a son. His mother ran off with him years ago. Okay? Neither here nor there. I could go have more children if I so desired, being reckless, but I don't do stupid stuff like that. Having said that, you got cats who don't show their face, have no babies, tell you that they have no babies, and then try to govern how other people with children should act. This shit is wild. Excuse my language. It just kills me. Who are they? Ain't never even seen you, dude. And you talking about you ain't got no babies because you don't want to bring them into a messed up world, or you never found a woman that was. So here's my thing. These dudes are not a virgin. They've been plowing on women. And for some odd reason, they're not part of the problem. Get your silly ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Dudes like that deserve to be uppercutted with all you got. Uppercutted. So you pull off a Roger Spice from them and make their teeth collide and crush together. Not playing with these people. They're suckers. And when you read the scripture, just understand that a whole lot of these dudes are the suckers that sold out, being told not to sell out. It's cold pimping, ain't it? Well, I mean, not on our part, on their part. Because they act like they're not the same sellouts that are sellouts. This is true pimping, man. Come on, man. That's what they're doing to people, man. They're truly pimping them. My friend, you get moderated now. So just in case somebody tries to show up, say something crazy ever one of these days, you just happen to stop in, you can just shut it all down. Don't worry. I'm only going to do these once or twice a week. You know what I'm saying? I try not to. I have a life, right? I'm going through real stuff. These cats get to stream. Oh man, I'm as one chick likes to call me Dusty, right on. She loves calling me Dusty. I don't know why. I live in a home and everything, and she called me Dusty all the time. You know what I'm saying? No, man, we just people. I wish we come from a real king, you know. You know, if Abraham was likened to a king, that means that Sarah was clearly a queen. Right on? So when people say we come from kings and queens, because I don't ever call myself that, you know, and I don't ever down nobody who does, because I understand why they do it, because we've never been told anything good. So it's good to tell each other something good. And I appreciate you. Hungry for y'all's wisdom. I'm saying your time has been most definitely valued and appreciated in my book. You know, don't ever let somebody don't ever let these guys think that because I don't have the views that I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And none of them really don't want to get in the ring with me because the range of conversations we could have, they mess around and get blown off their square. And I'm not trying to show up anybody on their platform. I know what I know. You know what I mean? I know what I know. I really do. I understand what I know to the degree that that I appreciate what I can do. Let me tell you something. It's a good brother who it took him years to really get me to believe in myself, you know, like the way that he does. Cause I just don't, I'm not, I don't operate on like, you know, like an unsure thing. I operate on things that I know are for sure, you know, and sometimes you can't be sure enough for certain things. You know what I mean? You just don't know. So, and because you can never know, it's just better to just be willing to just not know. You know what I'm saying? And to learn in the situation and to be willing to learn and to not be afraid to learn. Um, you know, one of the funniest things, you hear all these guys talking about they want reparations and this, that, and the third. And you know, I was just being I was being myself one day, you know, not being crazy or nothing like that. And what was funny was I said out my mouth, because I had said I had felt a certain way about reparations, and the same individual who will not be named was coming at me because I said, you know, I don't want them. But I was like, well, if I need to elaborate, if you're not going to give me what I deserve, I don't want reparations. And people were like, what do you think you deserve? And I'm like, I need 1 trillion all to myself, a a whole trillion. So just in case everybody doesn't do the right thing, I know I got some bread and I can put the right people on. And they're like, why do you need 1 trillion? I'm like, because that's what I need. I said it. Now, what was funny about that was Suckerbutt must have thought it was so gangster because he took it and he couldn't perceive saying that we need this because the what you would be asking for is to bankrupt the whole world. And that's my idea of reparations. See, the whole world owes black people. And until people can come to terms with that, okay, right on, and be willing to give you the shirt off their back. And for you to just burn that shirt up right in front of them, like, I don't want your funky ass shirt. You better give me some money, the gold, the silver before you get slapped. That's the day I'll know that it's really popping. Talking about we need $8 trillion. That's a starter. That's not no starter pack, bruh. That ain't no starter pack. I'm talking. It sounds crazy. Whatever is above 1 trillion, that's the number we need to start with. The whole world owes, bruh. And see, that's the problem with these cats is they don't really want to come at the neck of everybody. You know, before Demetrius Santuan Jones before I got my ERPO, this nigga, do you know that I was on my way? I had set myself up to where I was going to go to Geneva and speak our case at the world courts. I was going to file the case and everything for us. I had looked up the Rome statutes. I had did my due diligence. And I had showed these people like a fool. And they shut it all down. To this day, I don't know how I got the ERPO. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But it's okay, though, because Seattle police got some 14,000 complaints filed against them. That's what you guys get. Sort all those out. Everybody can't be lying. Right. That's how that works, huh? You see what I'm saying? See, this is why I think it's funny is that like you had these dudes who went out there rioting and looting, and these guys are calling these guys warriors. I didn't riot, I didn't loot, I held it down for another brother, was ready to go to the hip, was ready to go to my hip for him. But yet, I'm crying about white supremacy. That's how you know that these fools is crazy and don't have no mind. I don't want people to come around here messing with me who I don't want messing with me. Because I really, at the end of the day, I'm really just riding for black people. And a couple of cats who are going to straggle along, let them straggle. So long as they ain't messing with the flow, so long as they ain't messing with the function and they know their place, all the way in the back, carrying the heaviest stuff we got, so long as they know, no problem. That's why I don't understand these dudes. You see what I'm saying? These brothers don't even elevate themselves above their enemies. I do that all the time. I've never said white people are better than black people. Never. Never. And quite the opposite. I've always contended that because they admitted at the genetic level they're inferior. I'm like, we're better than them. It's a fact. One of my last little streams I did that people got to see, it was breaking down how blacks have been all these different places, right? And you have to take these websites, you have to take these websites information with a grain of salt, but you still have to be mindful that everything's not a lie. I mean, sure, a person could try to sell you a Whopper. That's not brand new to earth. But what I'm saying is that if a person mixes lies with the truth, you should be able to take and say, okay, well, if those things are true, then that doesn't change. Right. And that's the problem that I have with black people, is that they get mad at white people for pointing out certain things that are like, hey, white people are like, well, look, we know we're not perfect, but low key, we actually look to y'all to do the right thing. Right. See what I'm saying? So when y'all do the wrong thing, little do you know, you push my child who, for whatever reason, they are so enamored in this. They believe what you guys do, right or wrong, they believe in it. Come on. And that's the problem with black people, that they don't see their own uniqueness. They don't even see how special they are. So for them to get all up in arms about a brother that did not one of them jump in the line of fire to protect, and now you want to clap on mom and pop stores and break their windows open? I couldn't only feel so bad about the old school OG black dude who got killed out there trying to protect the pawn shop. That was nonsense. But it was even more nonsense for them to shoot that man in the back of his head and then to shoot him in his chest. That was far more evil than for him to try to come out there and protect. Even if he had interest in that shop, he should have just let it be, because he should have understood the situation. I need to be inside the shop, not outside of it. Let them break the windows, but if they come up in here, I'm gonna blow their ass away. See, that's the different. I have a way different mentality, about how you get people up out of there, and about how you handle a situation if people are going to act stupid. If somebody wants to get killed and you have the means to kill them, and I'm talking about if they're doing something that could cause you death, get them up out of there. You don't freaking wait for them to do something to you. You don't even wait for them to try to do what they're about to do. You just bust their ass. See, and I'm glad that I had to wait this long, because now when these sucker butts get to check this one right here out, they're going to pull their hair out. They're going to pull their hair out. I ain't even going on, you know what I'm saying, on a gay girl, you know what I'm saying, because she's not worth my time. Really, she make me giggle, some of the stuff she say. We're not going to get into who that is. You probably know who it is. You're just going to have to use your imagination as to how many of these people out here have a following who are homosexuals, who are women. We'll leave it at that. Having said that, right on, things that I've said, I hear falling out her mouth. contagious. And they won't even give me the love of saying, like, man, this brother is so sharp that we don't have to act like we listen to him. We don't have to act like we ever scoped out a video that he ever put down. We don't even have to act like we know who this dude is. But you know what, though? Because they do that, they don't understand what's coming next. Because if they dealt with me, I would just tell them. If they listened to me and took me serious, they would know what was coming. Because your man's is only so far off the mark. I'm cold. Oh, I'm on fire. Check some videos from about 7-8 months ago about what I was saying, what could possibly take place and go down. Check out some of my any corporate grief video. It doesn't matter. Any one of them will break down why we're here, why we're at. But if you watch the very first one where I break down, this is what they're trying to do, you'll be like, oh my goodness. See, I was so far ahead that it's hard for me I can't take my foot off the gas pedal. I'm miles ahead of these people. Miles. See, why they really actually hate themselves as Black people is because they gave up. That's why they hate themselves. And see, and what's funny is because you can still talk like you fight the fight, but you could have already gave up. This is why I question who these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are these dudes that you've never ever seen them? I need you to put that in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm about to come with another White Heaven one pretty soon. Don't worry. Oh, groundbreaking. I'm coming with feeling hurtings. You know, I'm glad you reminded me of those epic ones because I was thinking about it earlier. How I'm gonna come at this. It's not gonna be the last one, but it's gonna be one of those ones where I'm going for the kill. I'm going for the kill because, you know, I'm glad you love them. Really, I am. You know, people don't know. It's so crazy that they think that I lied to them. But I want you to start examining white people very closely. I want you to look at how many white people have sort of curly hair. How many of them have flat hair? How many have hair in between? Okay. Then I want you to look at the children, the mixed breed children that these Black people be having, and how they be looking all different shades of these types of people. And understand when I say what I said about the Civil War. Okay. About how the Civil War was used to kill off a large number of what would be biracial peoples. And I know we read in history. See, this is the thing. If white people are liars, one of the biggest lies I know they told is that they just unfettered access to Black women. No, they didn't. They're lying. These are the same white dudes who didn't let Black people, they didn't let none of the real warrior bucks get close to the house. They was all field niggas. These are the same white dudes who used to live way up in their roofs, okay, way up in the attic, sleeping with their rifle at night. That dude, I'm supposed to believe that dude, who one of the house niggas done told one of the maid servant chicks who's sleeping with a field nigga, by the way, he done told her this, and you think that one of these field niggas ain't got no feelings about, man, I'll bust his head anyway, and he gonna go in there and take somebody's woman? Do y'all, once again, I can't stress, do people understand how many Black slaves ran away because they killed their owners? Savage just went like, you know what? Call that. All that out the window. Don't worry, pimp. I got something for you. Because I've been feeling some type of way for the last 30 years. Right. These dudes are running away. Some of these guys are running away at early age, but most of them are running away in their latter ages of their life. They'd be in their 40s and 50s. They just couldn't take it anymore. They're like, I'm tired of this. You got white people who really want to believe that they were running plantations. They ain't never ran no plantations in their life. That stuff is only on movies. That's only on movies, man. That's fake. Slaves ran those plantations. That's how they operated so smoothly. Tell me one business where black people work at, and I don't care if they don't like the black people working there. Tell me one business that has black people who are for real about that, where it's a bad business, where it's not getting taken care of. Name one. It's right. It doesn't exist. That's fake. So when they try to tell you nonsense that like, oh, the white man has such a illustrious mind, and he was just able to captivate his slaves with his ideas, man, get that nonsense up out of here. They put it on TV so long that you had black people who believed it, because for the longest of time, black people didn't even trust white people and hated them. Let me tell you the truth. See, nobody tries to shame the devil. I do my best to, even though I don't think he can be shamed. Having said that, you want me to believe that a bunch of people right now who are, when I say they go out of their way to not do any work while they're supposed to be at work, you want me to believe that these are the same people who are supposed to be running plantations that had thousands of slaves on them at some times? Please. Why do you think white dudes are breaking their necks to get a buck? Not a woman, but a buck. Like, if I could just get him, I'll take him and mate him with somebody's slaves, and they'll have to give me one of those babies one of these days. They're not stupid. There's all kinds of stuff like that going on. Like, I just don't know if anybody's ever read the what's it called? Oh my goodness, it's the something game, right on. It's an old school book, right on. But it breaks down how they used to make the slaves mate. And I read it as a kid. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I read it older and I kind of understood then. And I'm like, but now that I can really know, I can say like, man, people really don't get the situation that black people were put in. Why do you think they used to beat slaves so bad? Because they used to put all the responsibility on them. Right? Their livelihood was literally riding on your black ass. Right. Riddle me that, Batman. And this is the type of thing that I can't seem to get because people think I'm retarded. They think I'm stupid. But if I tell them this, their mouths are wide open, right? People that I was working with want to tell me how I need to go into politics. I laugh every time people tell me that. It's a joke. What? To go into the same system that has proven itself to willingly fail black people at a moment's notice. Just to be like, we're sorry. Man, forget all that. Let those people fix this situation. Since they're so smart, this is why I can't stand these niggas talking about this is your country. Well, look, it'll be my country when they get the fuck out. How about that? It's that simple, because I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be. Let me leave. Let them stay here. Since they're so smart and they know everything, right? They can just do everything without us. Why haven't black people come to that level of conclusion? I don't get it. And you got niggas out here running around talking about this is your country too. Your forefathers. I'm a third generation veteran. Miss me with that fuckery. My daddy served and my daddy served. And who knows who else, all the other black people in I wouldn't be surprised if I had slave ancestors who fought in the revolution. Would not surprise me one bit. That kind of person I am. And these sucker butts want to run around here talking about this is your country. I love the Revolutionary War. You want to know why? Because it was the first time that black people got to show these white people how they really got down. And then it was the first time black people got to see how white people, the better ones, the 2%, really got down and let their black asses go right back into indigitude. How about that? See, when you have that kind of a history and you fail to rectify basic wrongs and want to overshoot to talk about justice of today, bitch, I'll slap your mouth. Please. That's my thing. These guys talk about reparations. Okay, talk about how George Carver, a whole nother George, a different George, who only named himself Washington after Booker T. Washington because of the efforts that George Carver put forth during World War I. Having said that, that man fed the entire world multiple times over. For that alone, I need reparations for my people. Let's not talk about men like Lewis Latimer and the other plethora of black inventors who invented these things during Jim Crow, mind you. And motherfuckers gonna talk to me about how bad Jim Crow was. Bitch, sit down. You don't know nothing. Cat calling niggas, okay? And serious coons was the ones who was getting touched by white people more than y'all think, because they was the ones buddied up with them. Only a nigga who thinks that I can get away with that is going to do some dumb shit and get his ass busted up. Because a real nigga knows better. Oh, a real nigga knows way better than to do some shit to get their head busted open. 1920? Whistling at a white woman? Oh, this nigga must hang out with white people. Clearly. Because ain't none of us did that but this nigga. He's clearly fucking with him. See, this is why people fail to understand. It's easy to be under something, to be sub, to be beneath it, but get on top of it. Get on top of that standing so that way you can really see what's going on. Because a bird's eye view never lies. Did you hear me? A bird's eye view never lies. It'll never tell you anything false because you can see everything. I didn't say a direct line of sight with seeing one thing. I'm talking about a true bird's eye view. How it looks over and it can see everything going on. You better get to that point with these sucker butts. You got dudes running around here who seriously tell black people that it's okay to be with any other woman other than a black woman. And will call me the privy member police because I care enough that when they get older and their sensibilities change, that their grandchildren look more like them than not. Come on. But I'm wrong. I'm the devil. You got dudes out here with brown hair, brown eyes, their shit curls up, and they got white skin, and they calling herself a white dude. But listen though, the female that they're with don't look nothing like that. Their female is a straight up white chick as much as she can be, because they know that they're not really pure. They know it. It's not lost on them. That's why they're the most silent when things happen to you. Because they don't want to seem like the sympathizer that they've always been. Do you really think Abe Lincoln had blue eyes? Y'all better look at those pictures. That man had brown hair and brown eyes. But he's a racist because he's supposed to be, hold on, he did the cover your ass move and didn't try to make it look like he wanted black people to be this, that, and the other. But the man had to defend himself from saying that black people could be free because they accused him of wanting to lay with black women. But these are things that I've already discussed with black people. Can't go there right now. Follow me. He has to defend himself and say by saying, like, just because I don't think that a woman, right on, should be a slave doesn't mean I want to sleep with her. Word? But that was the sentiment to most of those dudes who was trying to get the slaves free. A lot of them had half black children. A lot of those white dudes weren't even white. They were passing and had predominantly black children. And people could tell, like, man, his child looks awfully black for him to be a white man. Right. It's that type of thing. And won't nobody tell you because they clearly they don't understand. And if they do understand, they don't want you to know that part of the game, because then when I tell you things like, yo, they murdered almost an entire a group of people who would have been Obviously, far greater in number than they are now. I want you to understand this. How is that the mixed people population, the biracial population, is so small? Right. It's because they killed all of them in the Civil War. Uh, the ones who could pass ran off and married white people. That's why you have white boys and white girls now who still lay down with black people. A lot of I I contended. I contended. A lot of these guys who think they have a white granddaddy. I'm like, let me see the picture. Suckers probably just passing. It's neither here nor there. My favorite dude to use is Klay Thompson because Klay Thompson is one of the best passers. Like, if nobody knew that Klay Thompson was an NBA a baller, they would all think he was a white dude, and that's a fact. And there was dudes just like Klay, obviously not 6'6", 6'7", or whatever. Some of them, sure, whatever, but I'm talking about just regular people. What you think of a regular person who were passing? Come on. And I'm like, why is he always standing up for these niggas? He's a nigga lover. But who was the one to say that the nigga lovers was going to be the one to do something for black people? Why do you think that this whole protesting thing was so crazy? Because there were so many white people who were out there. White folks didn't expect that, but once again, I'm trying to tell y'all right now that there's a whole lot of them running around here who know that they have more than a sprinkle of black blood in their system. And they know it. And they know it. This is crazy. But you don't hear your so-called voices talking like that. You know why? Because they know if they tell you something like that, you're going to look at the situation way differently. It's not about letting these people champion anything for you. It's about you understanding that the ones who are going to do the most, okay, probably have something more in common with you than you could ever know. Right. There's a whole lot of them who feel bad because they know that their ancestors are evil. But there's even more of them who feel bad because they know that their ancestors look just like you. And yet they treat you like you're trash. So which one of those white people is worse? No black in them, right on, gets down one way, has some black in them, and gets down a whole nother. Both of them look white. Right. But one's modus operandi is totally different than the other ones. See what I'm saying? And yet they'll talk smack about a guy like Abe Lincoln. This is why I need y'all to really really hold that in, because that's where it's at. They don't want you to know nothing. But you know what they want you to do, though? You better hit that Cash App. You better hit that like button. You better subscribe. You better share. You know, the white supremacists hate that. I love that one. That's my favorite line when they tell you to give the video a like, because the white folks hate that. I'm like, which ones? The ones that you answer to? Word? Anyway, I'm so vicious. You know what I mean? My viciousness is so cold. That's why I don't even be saying nothing to most of these dudes. And they got lucky that I couldn't live stream while this stuff was going on. You know. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Meets will talk for 7 or 8 hours, but we ain't gonna do that today. But I could talk to y'all all day. And I ain't gonna ask you for a scintilla. Don't need you to like the video. It's cool if people do. It doesn't really, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going in either way. That's the part that I try to tell people, like, well, no matter what, I'm going in. Check this out. I can't fake this or make this up. About a week ago, some guy was outside yelling late at night. Clearly, he was having a long night. He's a homeless guy. I was having a long day. So I walks out there with my sword in my hand. Obviously, still sheath. And I'm carrying it like it's like it's a newspaper or something like that, you know, underhanded and, you know, between my my elbow and my forearm. And I remember just walking up around the corner and seeing this dude. And I was like, hey, you need to calm down. And if I come back out here again, I'm not going to say anything to you. There won't be a word said. You know what this dude said to me? He said, you going to stab me? I didn't say nothing to him. I just walked away. Facts, though, we didn't hear anything else that night. No more yelling. Funny how that works. When I was getting back up to my apartment, my neighbor's outside, and he sees me. He's walking out of his door, and he's like, what was all that yelling? I was like, it's all good. It took care of it. And all he sees is the sword in my hand. And I hope he wasn't thinking that I went out there and did something violent to somebody, right? But it's like, nah, I was just ready to just do violence because that's how I get down. But I don't go out of my way to hurt nobody. I promise to God, I'm gonna do for you way before I try to do anything to you. I'm gonna go, even if I think that you want problems, I'm gonna try to de-escalate it, because once I get to the point to where I no longer want to de-escalate it, you know how people be like, it's not pretty, but I don't know how many of these guys got an extremist protection order from the police. Once again, when I tell y'all, it's not gonna be pretty, and I never even lost my cool on them. It's not pretty though. I'm very well trained, and I'm overtly willing to hurt someone else if it means that I'm going to be fine. No problem cutting their whole head off. This much of a problem. And that's the kind of person that they're dealing with. I know I don't seem like it. I'm glad I don't seem like it. That's my biggest advantage. I don't look like I'm going to do that kind of damage to somebody until they do the wrong thing, and then they're going to get fucked up. And that's how you get down, my people. You don't show them your hand. You don't even tell them what's about to happen to them. You might warn them, but you only give them so much of a warning because they don't even deserve that. Black people who sell drugs to other black people are the biggest devils there are. And get mad, and then want to talk about what white people do. Once again, how are you righteous calling white people the devil, and then you want to be doing what they do? Don't ask me why. It's the craziest thought to me. Right. You see what I'm saying? You can't knock those people. I don't even think they're people. You can't even knock them, the Gentiles, okay? And then go right back behind those Gentiles and then be pretty much brown-nosing them. It's too much. These guys say because Fox News gets paid, why can't they get paid? White people get paid. Why can't I have something? And it's like, because you don't need it from your people. But they're the wicked ones. They're the false and fallen prophets who the scripture tells us exist. And this is another reason why they hate me, is because I can go in between the things that I'm talking about. I don't have to keep it in one level of range. I can just shoot from thing to thing to thing. And either they can keep up or they can't. Not my problem. It's my problem if I want them to understand, but it's not my problem if they're just there and they don't understand. Like, that's not on me because they don't say anything, right? How can I rectify something that I don't know about? Right. And that's what I'm trying to say, brother, is that these black people know what the problem is, and yet they'll do nothing about it. They want to be in America. That's why I said earlier what I said, is that they call this their country because they want to stay here. They don't want to face the Most High God's wrath and consequences for being sinners here in this land. See what I'm saying? For that alone, I hate them and want them to die legendary deaths. Legendary. What happened to George Floyd? It won't never make it a video type stuff. It needs to be that legendary. Because they deserve it. And you know it, and I know it. They deserve it. That's what makes them the saddest, is because they know they deserve to die above all the people that, you know, I think it's weird that guys like Professor Black Truth go out of their way to talk about these people that they want to call lead chip paint babies, right? But those same lead chip paint babies you want to call warriors because they're breaking windows to stores that you call, or you say, or contend is owned by white supremacy. But at the same time, you say that this is your country and your land too. So it's like, at what level is this not your shit? Right. If that's how you contend it. See, I don't even go at these dudes. If they fuck with me, I'm killing their whole argument with a couple questions. Their whole arguments are just falling to pieces. This is why they don't want me to ever, that's why they can't deal with me. And they know it. This is not, look, before I roll out in the next like 20 minutes or something like that, check this out. And I can't make this up. Like I told you, there's a female who likes to call me Dusty, right? I won't even go into who she is. What I really believe is that she wanted me to be her baby's daddy over this dude that is her baby's daddy. And I can't help that. Right on? Follow me. While calling me Dusty, right? She don't ever talk about how you ain't never seen some of these dudes who you gallivant around. Right. Like, chick, you've never seen this nigga Jason Black or Professor Black, right on? You never seen these niggas? When BGS was on, you never seen these niggas. So I don't understand where these cats get off. I don't get it. And then they want to be mad at a dude who is disagreeable, but you don't have to agree with him. He's not even asking you to. Like a dude like O'Shea. Okay? My big head chocolate friend. O'Shea can't stand my black ass. Ask O'Shea about Demetrius Jones. Swear to God, he's going to act like he either doesn't know or he's going to try to take my head off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He can try to take my head off. Like, oh, this all Bible thumping. Woo, 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 woo. But he's supposedly supposed to be believing in Jesus. Come on, man. You don't make no sense. But that's why none of these dudes do nothing with me, because they know I'm coming for your neckline. I'm coming for your whole esophagus. There's no there's no breathing room. What, they want to talk about genetics? Let's talk about genetics. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't, whatever range of conversation they want to have, we can talk about it, but let's just keep it real while we're talking about it. Are we more worried about dates and times, or are we actually worried about what's real, what's real? You see what I'm saying? You know, because I always think it's funny that people bring up dates and times, but they don't even know that all places in the world aren't governed on the same dates and times. Right. Right. For all these dudes who sit around here and have their nose up, Lewis Walcott. I won't call him that other name. Lewis Walcott, aka that guy in the Nation of Islam. That sucker booty, right? You know what's funny about dudes like that, though? Is that he's supposed to be a Muslim, but he doesn't even keep the 5 pillars of Islam. But dudes follow me, though. There are black people in the Middle East that are Muslims that keep the 5 pillars of Islam. Right. But you want me to follow behind a half-breed dude who will tell you that his mother crept out on his father? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. And that Marcus Garvey. Let me go in on Marcus Garvey real quick. They love to pat Marcus Garvey on the back, but he was married to a white woman. Outside the fact that he wasn't American. Right. So who are these dudes what are they talking about? Nothing. Absolutely nada. Did y'all know? Did you know that Elijah Poole, I won't call him the name that they gave him in the nation of freaking frauds. Elijah Poole was a 3rd grade dropout, and he was an alcoholic until that white man, Fard Muhammad, who knows who he really was, Con Man 1000, okay, took him and cleaned him up and said, I can use this nigga to get the rest of these niggas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he put his prince on the throne of the Nation of Islam. And that's why they really killed Malcolm. And their numbers have never been as high as they were since Malcolm's death. Never. Won't ever get back to that. Malcolm picked up an obscure thing and made it something. Facts. Do they talk about, right, they killed a real black man? It's okay. It's okay. That's okay. And have the nerve to bring up Malcolm X and Louis Farrakhan and act like these two dudes have anything in common. Louis Walcott is the devil. Not afraid of nobody, so they can come. Send the FOI so I can cut their heads off. They'll just be the sliced fruit of Islam. Can you dig it? Check me out, man. I can't stand these dudes. I can't stand them. They're sucker booties and they're chumps. Niggas want to praise dudes who ain't never did nothing for black people. Tell me when it's ever changed. Since the Nation of Islam has been around. What has changed for black people? Other than these niggas want to sell you some bean pies. What's changed? Nothing. That's what. Dudes talk about Louis Walcott, aka Ferry Boy, and they say things like, "Oh, he fought against white supremacy." Really? Because did y'all know that Louis Walcott had a written agreement with the KKK that they could run roughshod in certain areas, just so long as they didn't go to the places that the nation was at? And the nation wasn't going to do too much about it either? It's those type of things. And they can't deny. These are undeniable truths. So I'm like, they can't hang. They're little babies. And these are supposed to be cats who are learned, educated, and are cultured in the world, supposedly. I'm scrubbed up McGee from Tacoma, Washington, but yet I know these things. It's pathetic. That's what it is. And they should be ashamed of themselves. Totally. And they know they should. Very few of them are, because black people give them money all the time. What shame do you have to feel from your people if I'm going to give you something? Right. So right when you was actually about to maybe repent, that Cash App lit up. What's happening, fam? That Cash App lit up, and then they changed their minds. They said, you know what? God, you can hold off another day. You can hold on one more day while I get it in. One more day. One more day ain't going to hurt nothing, Father. See what I'm saying? Because they was ready to quit. They was ready to give it up. But you got hard-working, honest, man, I mean, loving black people like you, who give them your hard-earned ducats, your hard-earned rubles, your hard-earned pounds. Can you dig? Right. That's all the way. That's all the way deep. You give them all that. Right. And then you want me to be mad at them for ganking you? I'm only mad because they act like they're righteous. If they came at the game was like, look, nigga, I'm a crook, dirty ass crook, and only want your money, and said that in a way that it could be understood by a regular person, I would totally appreciate that. But they guys, they're their movement behind what they're trying to do for black people. I just can't rock with that. I can't. You know, I heard a coward say one time, if a chick ran up on him, he'd knock her out. But if a dude ran up on him, he'd shoot him. Coward. Coward. And he gonna die a coward's death too. Can you dig it? And that's too bad for that guy. I ain't gonna say his name. He's gonna die a coward's death. I've already spoken. I know it for a fact. People are like, what kind of death are you gonna die? I'm like, the righteous type. The type where people don't forget about you. These guys are scary. They're cowards. See, like I told my lawyer, I could only pray that the end of everything happens right now while I have this purple on me. I become an exceptional archer. I'm actually pretty good with the bow and arrow now. So I don't even mind it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, let's just really see what people are really made of. See, that's the whole different mentality that they're not gonna drop to you because they're not built like that. They're built funny style, you know. A talkivist can only do what a talkivist does, and that's talk. You had cats who were live streaming or making videos of them being in places where the riots were going on. It's like, well, go ahead and tear some shit up then, nigga. Since you's real deal Holyfield about that life, tear some shit up. Right. They ain't about to do nothing. They ain't gonna bust a grape. Because they terrified and they scared. And they gonna tell me and you about how this is why white supremacy is gonna go down. Because a bunch of selfish, spoiled, childish, right on, youths who know no bounds to their disrespect are going to deliver us from the most wicked of the heathen while they yet indulge in the ways of the heathen at levels unknown? Really? It's those types of guys that I know are going to die the worst deaths. It's going to be terrible. The same ones they was calling warriors going to be ripping their heads off, raping their wives. Stupid ass dudes. But I don't know nothing. They'll find out the hard way. That's how I know that these guys don't get it. Because they're still in a level of comfort. Anytime a person tells you, I'm trying to live my best life, trust me, they don't really understand what's going on. They don't. They couldn't. If living your best life means that you'll allow for your people to go without so that way you can have, that's not the best life. And then you'll go to those same people who are downtrodden and then seek their services for less. But we'll pay someone who's not downtrodden more for the same services, and the person doesn't look anything like you. That sort of wickedness is what black people are contending with within their own ranks and want to worry about white people. This is why I am so sad I didn't get to make it to Geneva. Had I got to just put it out there that all black people were not genetically the same, and I could still prove it clearly, that would have changed so much. Because until all the different race all the black in the world acknowledges where they stand in the spectrum of blackness, then there will be no progress made. You're not going to go to Africa and tell different tribes that they're the same, man. Especially if they know they're not. They're not having that. So I need black people here to wake up and understand and see, like, yo, if you look, I mean, I'm talking about no thing like this other black person. They're probably genetically different from you. That's a fact. And respect that game. Because for some odd reason, there's people who want to contend things like, well, genes are random. No, they're not. They're finite. That's why gene variance is such a big deal. White people know where gene variance really came from. But if they told you that fallen angels were their fathers, would you believe them? Right. They're like, the truth is stranger than fiction. In this case, literally. Why would you believe that? That's nonsense to you. You're black. You were taught that your people were slaves your whole life. What's that got to do with anything? I'm trying to tell you that they're not even humans. You let listen, they're not even a human. They're not even a subhuman. Okay? They're a Gentile. Okay? A humanoid, maybe. Try to tell you that you're not human. That you're not man, that you're not woman. And then follow behind those same creatures and get up under them and then expect me to take what you're saying serious. Man, please. You want to go everywhere they want to go. You want to buy nice cars that they're supposed to have because you're not supposed to have it. And then you think that I think you're any different from them? How? What's popping? What's popping, bro? It's okay. Let them go because they can't take it because that's the truth. Right on? They're that type. Facts. And I'll tell them that to their face. Want to be like white people. Talking about, oh, this is nicer. What makes it nicer? What really makes it nicer? Word? If a car will break down, follow me. If a car will break down on you like any car will, what really makes it nicer? The fact that these dudes spent a shit ton of money putting the car together, paying people salaries that they don't deserve to put the car together? That makes the car nice? That makes it worth something? See, it's that sort of lack of understanding that makes me look at black people and be like, hey, these niggas is retarded. They get sad because they get scolded. They don't want to be the one who's stupid. You know the difference between a stupid person and an ignorant person? At least the ignorant person didn't know better. Right. Your stupid ass does, though. Oh, if I play a stupid ass nigga, trust me, I go in on myself and I have no problem telling myself, nigga, you stupid as fuck for that. Because you know better. These suckers, this is how I know that niggas so badly want to be like white people. White people try so hard to control their image and about how they're seen by people, right? Word? That this is why their falls be so crucial. Father Gregory is a pedophile? What? He was my favorite. He's my favorite rabbi or whatever he is, right? A pastor, a Catholic priest. You know what I'm saying? Whatever this dude is in the church or the synagogue, right? Or the temple, you see what I'm saying? They can't believe it. They're like, I can't believe he would do that. It's the same thing. You're looking at people who, if you got to see them do some of the things or found out their real ways, you'd be like, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh man, it's okay, Martin. They don't have to know that I've said things that have took place like took place already. It's okay. I'm waiting for the Mexican border thing to blow up. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Let me not get too carried away in that. You know, I said I wouldn't say too much about the cartel, so not let me not go back on my word. But just know that's why they're trying to jump the economy back off. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Has a lot to do with the south of the border than you think. Has much more to do with that. It's only a matter of time until other forces realize that America actually can't defend itself. It's just a matter of time. I've contended, and I will always contend, that the dough was rolled too thin. How about that? Been saying that for years. Just now starting to come to fruition that their dough is rolled very thin. Extremely thin. And that meal fit for the king, right? Will never get to his lips. I've said that for years. You guys know I have. That's where I'm at. I'm about to slow clap on these dudes pretty soon. I'm talking real soon. I'm just waiting for the next little headline so I can. Oh, I'm about to go in on them because they got it coming. They got it coming. They messed up. They talked about mental health last year, right? Are they going to try to use Corona or COVID-19 as the reason to why people are having all these issues? Is that going to be the new mental health thing? See, I don't know where Red Flagistan is going. But Coronaville was crazy. Let me tell you that. I seen about 1,000 people march down my street the other day. And I just looked at them. I said, damn fools. And I sat down and drank my beer. Think nothing about it. Are they going to go out there and do the right thing when it really matters? I don't know. How many of these people who were out there protesting looked up that that adult website where my man's is supposed to be and saw him in full glory? Right on? Because they're sick in their heads. Right. They're wrong, bro. Sis, whoever's here with me, they're wrong. And they know that. They know they're wrong. And the part about them being so wrong that bothers them the most is that it takes dudes like me who they would consider the villain to tell them that, hey, you're out of pocket. You're so out of pocket. Because they normally receive so much love that a person who wants to actually stand up and say something won't. See, let me tell y'all something about people who are fair weather. And this is why the Most High God there will be not one person fair weather who gets to roll with the Most High God in the end. You know why? Because they can't be trusted. You know why he dealt with Moses? Because even if Moses didn't like what he heard, he still did what he was told to do. See, this is why I always laugh at cats. Because they don't hear what they want to hear and then they want to, I'm out of there. Something stab them right in the fourth rib and poke them in the heart a little bit. I'm gone. But you know what that's a sign of, though? While you're still here, that's a sign of cowardice. You're no different than the kind of people who would have recorded George Floyd getting murdered. You wouldn't have done nothing. And I'm telling you that right now. You wouldn't have done a fucking thing, coward. Heard something they didn't like and got the fuck up out of there. George Floyd deserved way better than what he got. And he deserves better than people who, once again, like, let me stress this again, like I stressed it 10 minutes in. His family wasn't even given 7 days to mourn the man. And people went crazy and did all these things in his name. I wonder if they ever found that white boy who socked out that cop. Was popping, big bro. I wonder. Because while they're out here doing all this crazy stuff, nobody's getting anything done. Like, where's the new politician person at? People are like, why aren't you him? I'm like, I'm not getting killed for these ungrateful niggas. Does anybody not understand that? Can you dig? I'm not doing that. If one of y'all want to go out here and put your life on the altar of sacrifice for these most ungrateful, and I mean most ungrateful people, you go ahead and do that. I don't even know, bro. I don't know, bro. It's like I don't know anybody who's BLM either. I mean, the last time I heard Black Lives Matter in my life, outside of me hearing it the last 8 days, they do no protesting today. You know, the economy officially opened up, or they found out that it was officially a recession, right? So they chilled it all out. They said, "Nah, I'm good on all that." But the but the but the Black Lives Matter people, it's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying though. How do you have 3,000 Facebook friends and not one of them are Black Lives Matter? That just those kind of numbers are scary when you actually think about like. But I'll tell you who's Black Lives Matter: the gay girl, the gay boy, right on. The one who is sensitive to the case of the gay boy or the gay girl, whether they're a homosexual or not. Uh, Black criminals who don't have a voice and want to be heard. Come on, the same dudes who I'm like hate their people more than white people do. Like, I want y'all to hear this right here. Think about this for a moment. Dudes who will kill a black man for not paying him back for his dope went out there looting and rioting. Think about that for a moment. And we'll blame the system for why he's oppressed. But it's like he doesn't see the part that he plays in his own oppression. That type of thing right there, I don't get it. Does anybody here understand that? That the guy who's selling the crack cocaine has the audacity to speak as if he's a victim, and he's created countless victims. Does anyone here understand that? I'm just waiting, because I know that was the question that it's an honest one, you know, and you can just be real and just tell me the real. Because you either understand it, and if you don't understand it to the degree or whatever you do understand, lay it on me. Because I've never understood how a person could claim to be a victim, victimize others, and then go out of their way to not realize that they're worse than their enemies. We can only hope for Jacob's trouble. We can only hope for that. I don't need any more pseudo nonsense, big bro. I need the real thing. George Floyd to me is like a preface to bad things. I don't think people really get what happened to that man. You know what I'm saying? Like they suffocated him with the fumes of the car. I'll contend that to the day I'm up out of here. Just like I'll contend just like I will contend that Amber Geiger was having sexual relations with Botham Jean before whatever happened. Facts. It's just one of those things where that's why I said what I said when I made my inference about what happened to our failed brother. Because I saw it as not only clearly the people just don't do nothing, right? But I'm like, if the check that he was trying to cash, whatever was going on, right? You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm saying. It was personal, bro. It was deeper. Just like I play around and say all the time, it's deeper than rap. Right on? It's bigger than rap. So I know for a fact that it's bigger than a so-called adult, a website check, right? For $5,000. I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Chauvin knew that dude was already doing that for a living. That would not surprise me. What I wouldn't be surprised if dude did that because he may have did something unrighteous with the dude's wife. Would not surprise me. Wouldn't be surprised if old boy Derek Chauvin was just jealous because he's seen his brother leave the club with all kinds of women. Would never surprise me. Wouldn't. And that's where people just have to get, and they have to understand it. And they can't be all in their feelings about, well, they left his knee on his neck, and after he had died, they used to what they used to do to our people is unmentionable. The fact that they did something so lighthearted as to leave their knee on his neck. We need to really look at it for what it is. They used to hang black people and eat their food and watch us squiggle and squirm until we gave up the ghost. And this might be a Sunday activity. And who knows the countless lives of black lives lost to these freaking demons. Right. And you got cats like Jeff Bezos who want to give Black Lives Matter $10 million so they can go around acting up and tearing stuff up. Once again, I thought it was crazy that old boy Sean Reed got shot in his face by the police in Indiana. But in Chicago, there was another young buck who last week, listen, this dude went on a 13-hour high-speed chase. Do you know they brought this fool in? Right. This dude stole another car and everything. It's crazy that they murdered little Sean Reed the way they did. And ain't nobody speaking justice for my mans because they think he did the wrong thing. But he wasn't on Pornhub. So how wrong was he? See, this is the type of mentality that I'm trying to understand. Is where do you demand true justice? Because if you're going to tell me that a man who for a living was a fornicator deserves more justice than a young brother who had just started his life, you niggas is out your mind. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. And I don't get it. Because it's like, I'm not going to say I'm all by myself, but I do be by myself a lot of times. Because it's like, I'll say it and then people will be like, damn, that was cold. And I never thought about it like that. That's because I don't spend so much time in myself. I get outside myself and I really be like, damn, what would I think if I was somebody else? And people be like, how do you do that? You just don't think like you're you. You go against everything that you would normally think and you think a different thought. That's how you achieve different thoughts. That's how I do it. Just gave y'all a little piece of me. And that's how I can't get what's going on with these guys here. Do you want to defeat so-called white supremacy? Or do you just want to join hands in the end and act like you put up a good fight? Come on. I'm coming for the neckline since I'm still here. Not afraid. Nothing to be afraid of. I have nothing to fear at this point. You have nothing to fear. But the Most High God, that's it. That's it. It's the only thing you need to fear. And what He will do if you don't get your act together. That's why I will never change. I will always come with the, I don't know if it's called so much duality, but it is the coincidedness of how we exist within this realm that we call life. You know what's crazy about white people eating around a dead person's body and acting like ain't nothing wrong with it? Is that any white person born before 1937 who was from a rural place that had any kind of black people in it seen the most racist things you couldn't even imagine or partook in them. See, this is why I know that I need a trillion. Can you dig that? I need a whole one. If you don't think you need a whole trillion, something wrong with you. I need a whole one that I can spend the way I see fit. Not a billion, 1 trillion. And I said this stuff almost a year ago, and folks probably thought it was funny. I haven't moved a scintilla from what I said. And as I took a sip from my beer and I did something like this, I said, "Shit, I need about a whole trillion to myself." Something just like that. It's so serious because I mean that. I know it, bro. Even the lame shall leave with much loot. Even the lame. I'm with you. And that's where I'm at is this is why I know that these dudes is wrong is because they're not gearing the minds up for the people to get up out of here. I feel like I'm the only one who's like, yo, when it happens, be ready. When it happens, be ready. When it happens, be ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And when it does, it's going to fall apart. You know, a part of me thought the other day that some of this protesting is them also realizing that they receive nothing but lies, vanities, and nothing of any true profit. And they're going to continue to act up because this recession. Okay, how many white people really want to go back to work after they've been getting almost $1,000 a week on unemployment? Right. So I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, you think that the people who are already pretty much hella lazy are about to go back to work after being baby for the last couple months? Oh, we'll see. We'll see. You can't be in a recession, announce that you're in a recession, and then claim that you had a sharp drop in unemployment claims. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Right on. Trying to put sugar on feces. It ain't cool. It's not cool. But don't worry. We're live again. And I know that all I gotta do is just pop the camera on and get it popping. Now, when I say I love my people, I love y'all so much, more than you guys will really probably know. Probably sense every once in a while, but I'm talking about. I tell y'all, to the hilt, I will go. It's not really funny. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna be, man. You know how it is, bro. You need money to make anything happen. That's why people are agreed, bro. I will endure. And I hope everybody else who's here sees that what that brother said. That's the truth. What brother Michael Woodard said. Endure. Excuse me. Endure. Persevere. And long suffer, my friends, because that's all we got. And we come from that. We come from enduring and persevering and long suffering. So that means that we just got to just keep grinding out day by day. I hear you, bro. It was that, but that's why they shut it down. Too many epics. You know he's yeah. See, you know he's a character. It's too bad that bro never just tried to just really just deal with me on the level that I tried to deal with him. You can't take from a little brother and never give to the little brother. That ain't cool. That is not cool. You know, and y'all don't take anything from me because I'm speaking. I'm giving it to you. You see what I'm saying? But if you take something and you know you took it, and you know how you're using it is not the intended purpose of how it was meant to be used, you're wrong. Nah, man, it was epic, bro. Man, people used to do the right thing. Man, we used to talk. People would drop a little whatever was going on. There might be 8, 9, 10 people, 13 people to talk about that one thing. It was good. It was healthy. And that's why they got rid of that. You know, they said, no, 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 no. All I want to do is encourage all my brothers who want to kill themselves to not kill themselves. All my sisters who want to abandon their families to not abandon their families. And all my brothers who think that tomorrow will not be better. It really can be. And I believe it will. But you've got to have hope. You've got to believe that the Most High God will do right by you if you do right by Him. If He sees that you're doing the best you can to do right by Him and your heart is in the right place. I have a hard time believing that the Most High God is going to leave you behind. Faith. That's right, the F word. The good F word. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, faith. If we don't got that, we're done. We're cooked. We're cooked. You know what I'm saying? We are cooked like halibut, okay, like cod, like trout, like salmon. All right, we are cooked, and that will be that. My brothers and sisters, before I roll out, I got a couple more little things I just need to get off my chest, and then I'm done. Be circumspect about what's going on these days. I did nothing on purpose to. Oh no, legal situation is still out of control, but is getting in control. I have a lawyer who's trying to do right by me. At least that's what she says. And her actions have so far shown that she's trying to do the right thing. So I need to make sure that I don't let the Seattle police officers intimidate her. You know what I'm saying? Man, this stuff could get crazy with me, man, any moment. I'm I need it. I need it. I pray for man, listen, bro. There be days I just be thinking, I'm like, man, I just wonder how Mike Woodard is doing, because they shut down the Google Plus and they do the stuff. But I'm gonna have to shoot you some emails, man. Make sure we stay connected better. But I'm sad some days, big bro. You know, I cry a lot about the things that I just have no control over with black people, because I just wish that they would just do the right thing. Got you. I'm gonna copy that right now. And it's just unfortunate, bro, that we just don't ever get to be in a situation where uh we get the right help that we need, man. Like people think that black people want to be like that, and it's like they don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Only evil people want to be messed up. That's it. you know. But there's people who, even if they had enough to eat, enough to drink, even if they had nice clothes and a nice home, and they had the best transportation, they would still be wicked, no matter what. And we have to just say, okay, that's who they are. Because it hurts, man. I just wonder, like, what was on their minds, like when they went into the land of Canaan, Phoenicia, and they were told prehand that, yo, the people won't be getting kicked off the land in the first year. And they were also told, don't mingle with the people. So they should have been beating them down. Anyway, y'all don't know. I'm cold. I'm cold blooded. When I read the Bible and I just be like, that's what we should have done. Should have just went all in. But people are like, how much blood can you stand to see? I'm like, as much as it takes to make the Most High God not take out his wrath on me. And they weren't like that. That's why we're going through what we're going through now. Every day you get sad, every time you get sad, pray for your soul and pray that the Most High God have mercy on our ancestors. That's right. That's right. That's right. Man. It's going to be all good, my people. I'm coming up on a couple hours. We'll cut it short here so everybody can get back to their regular lives. I will be going live. Oh, for sure, at least once a week. I don't know what day. I'll try to put the little reminders or whatever up. But just look for your boy. That's right, brother. I want my reward too. Whatever it is, whatever I end up getting in the end, that's what I deserve. That's it. I just want what I deserve. That's it, bro. That's it. And if he says I deserve hellfire, that's it. I'll be like, well, I wasn't good enough. That's it. I don't. I can't control what the Most High God is going to do. All I can do is pray, man, that He just have mercy on me. That's it. That's why I said, like, I don't even really be in my feelings. I just be so sad, man, like about black people. I just think about it. Like people don't wake up thinking about slaves. People don't wake up thinking about how their ancestors lived day by day. They don't have that kind of pain in their hearts, so it doesn't bother them to see black people in the condition that they're in. It's the last thing I'm saying, and I'm out. The Most High God never told his name to anybody until Moses, until there was a righteous person born of a people that were meant to be righteous. And the Most High God has given us everything it is that we need to know. We just have to just do the right thing, and we'll live. And if we don't, we'll die. With all my heart and soul, man, I appreciate y'all for your time, your energy, your efforts. I appreciate everything that you've ever done, good and bad. May you seek repentance. And may you remember that we atone every day. And we will atone each day until the moment that we eventually leave the earth. And that is the difference between the righteous and the wicked. Having said that, I too pray that the wicked never seek to repent. I pray that. Appreciate you too, bro. I'm about to leave it on out now, y'all. I salute you. Y'all have a blessed night. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm witnessing it just like the rest of everybody else's, bro. But sometimes I make myself sad, but sometimes I do make myself smile. It's okay, Jason. Don't worry about it, bro. I love you too, fam. Be good, man, and just run it back. Y'all be good tonight. Peace.